Hey, welcome to Color Up. Recently, I showed you a free cruise strategy, and it starts with the don't pass. The problem is, what happens if you get multiple 7 or 11s on the come out roll, and that does sometimes happen. Well, today we're going to look at a modification to the strategy. This is a modification of the light in the darkness strategy from the Holy Roller YouTube channel. So he uses this strategy to win free cruises, and he starts with a don't pass, and then and it's a big if he can get past the come out, and whenever there's a point established, he'll then use $100 to bet up here. So that'll be an inside bet, or if it's a 4 or 10, he'll put $50 on that and then kind of spread out $50 across the other numbers. So that's the strategy. I'll link it up if you want to check out the original. Now the big problem with this strategy is the come out roll. So what happens if you roll a 7 or 11? Well, you're going to lose this bet. But now you have a big decision. Well, what do? Do you follow it up with another $100 bet? Okay, maybe. What if it loses? I mean, it's very not common, but it does happen. 7 roll, multiple 7 or 11s roll in the come out. You lose 2. Do you come back for a third? You could bypass it and then just wait for a point to be established and then put your $100 up here. Now, instead of a $200 average bet, you've only got 100. And of course, the 7, risk your whole $100 on every single roll. So this modification is called the Batman. And he just says that because of DC Comics. And he uses the don't come instead of the don't pass. So what is the main difference? Well, if we bypass the don't pass, which can roll literally unlimited 7 or 11s and lose all your money, if we instead wait for a point to be established and then make a don't come bet, how many times can we get knocked off with the shooter with a 7? Only once. So it eliminates any decision making from us if we want to follow this up. So let's say the player establishes a point, we make our don't come bet, he rolls a 7. Well, we do lose our don't come bet. That stinks, but guess what? The puck goes off and the dice move to a new player. So for that shooter, we've only lost $100. We don't keep chasing it, and have to decide, man, do I lose it 2 times? Do I lose it 3 times? Do I lose it 4 times? By coming through the don't come, it makes the decision real easy for you. Now, this is more of a mental situation because the math is exactly the same because the dice don't know who's shooting, right? So the dice move to the next player. That player, you wait for him to establish a point. You make your don't come bet. And sure enough, the same odds exist here. The 7 is always a 1 in 6 chance to lose. So you could wait for the dice to move to the new player. You can wait for the new point. And you could still get knocked off for a second time with a 7. So mathematically, there's not really a difference in the strategy. So it's more of like a strategic kind of mental play where you don't have to make a decision and worry about getting knocked off multiple times, which for me, it just gives me anxiety. So let's go ahead and roll it out and test out the Batman version of the light in the darkness. All right, I'm going to run this through with a $600 bankroll. So we're going to wait for a point to be established before we make our bet. Now, if you are the shooter, you are required to make a pass or don't pass. So if you're rolling the dice, go ahead and go do the standard version, play on the don't pass. But if someone else is rolling the dice, you can skip out on that first roll. So let's see what happens here. All right, here we go, coming out. Looking for a point 10 hard. So puck is 10, and now we make our $100 bet. I say you don't have to make a decision, but theoretically the 11 could roll unlimited, but there's a lot less dice combinations. There's only 2 ways to roll the 11, so we're not super worried about that, and they're kind of offset with the 2 and the 3. The big killer, as you've seen, is multiple 7s rolling, and here we don't have to worry about that for at least this shooter. All right, here we go. Let's get our don't point established. Hey, look at that. There's that 7. So we still lose our $100. Puck is going to go off, and we don't have to worry about that decision, right? So we're only going to lose 100 for that shooter. All right, so the dice are going to pass to a new shooter. Let's see what point he established. All right, there's the 7 on the come out. We would have lost it there. There's a 12. That would just be a push, or bar the 12. There's a 5. Point is going to be 5 for the table. Now for us, we're going to establish a different point. So $100 in the don't come, the DC, and let's see where our bet moves to. There's the 5-point hit. So ours is going to travel behind the 5, and the puck is going to go off. Now this is a little different situation. So normally what you would do is now throw in 100. Let me get some change here. 110 and cover the inside numbers, right? This don't bet is always working. So if the 7 rolls, that is great for our don't. Now the puck says these bets are off, we would have to turn on our bets. Now with the 7, we win here, we lose here. You certainly don't have to make these bets, you can leave them off, and then you can obviously, you have the advantage, you'd win with the 7, you would lose against the 5. But if you put your bets up like normal, you're in the same situation. You have a 110 at risk to the 7, but you would win back 100. And then we have a slight hedge with the 5. It'd pay 35, so again, we'd lose 65, but not the end of the world. But if we can get a hit on one of these numbers, then we can get a full hedge against the 5. So it's just a little different, and you have to really pay attention and use your on and off markers. Well, let the dealers know, because remember, your game is separate from the actual puck. All right, here we go. Same shooter, looking for his new point. 3 craps. We would have liked to have been on the don't pass that time, but it doesn't affect our bets, so here we go. 7. So that would have hurt us here. There's still no point established, but we're going to lose our bets here. So we lose 110. Our don't comes down and gets paid 100. And so we're really out just $10. So not that big a deal. We could set that aside and wait for the shooter because he still hasn't established a point. So he threw a come out 7. Here we go. 3 craps. We missed out on a win there. 2 aces. We missed out on another win. Now you're like, man, I should be on the don't pass. Well, you just never know with the dice. So there's a 12, a push. I think this is like 5 or 6 rolls, and this player still hasn't established a point. There's another 12. Come out 7, that would have been bad for us. I think that, what is that, roll 7, still no point established. There's a 12. This is crazy. Here we go. There's a 2. A lot of the game, 1/3 of the time is won and lost right there on the come out roll. 3, ace deuce. We're getting loose. We're missing out on some wins too. Dice off the table, no roll. I'm gonna grab the same die over here. I'm trying to go for the world record of how many rolls can you make without establishing a point. All right, there's an 8. So points established. Now we're gonna come out with our $100 and the DC. All right, here we go. 9, our point is gonna be 9. And let's go our normal bet, 110 inside. So we can get our 200 average bet. Our first hit, we want to get a little more on this 9, so it completely hedges this against the 9. We're not really worried about the 7. All right, here we go. See, there's that 9. So we lose 100, we only win 35, so it essentially knocks us off of $65. Puck stays here. We can rack this up. Now this is where it's a weird situation. The puck's on, we got to come through the don't come. So we're going to make another $100 bet. But in this case, we want to make sure that we tell the dealer that we want our bets off. Because they're on with the puck, we got to override that by asking the dealer to turn them off. Because you don't want to roll a 7 and lose $200. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. There's a 6, 6 easy. So this will travel behind the 6. Dealer, we want our bets working again. Now hopefully we can hit the 5, 8, or 9 so we can get the 6 completely hedged. Here we go. 8, 8 hard. Point hit for the rest of the table. So we're going to get paid 35. Let's go ahead and throw that on the 6 so we have a complete hedge there. And then we can just kind of rack the 5. That was the point. It's going to go off. So our bets are off because they follow the puck, but this one's on. So we want to go ahead and make sure, hey, dealer, we want our bets working. So our hedge is working against there. All All right, here we go, same shooter. 7 on the come out. Would have been a loser for the don't pass. For us, it doesn't hurt that bad. We do lose our bets up here. $100 don't will come down and get paid $100. So that'll come back to us. I'll go ahead and wait for a point to be established. 9. All right, we'll go back up with our $100. We haven't really got a substantial roll to make any money yet, but we're hanging in there. We're getting time at the table with really $200 average bet. All right, here we go. 3 craps. There we go. There's a winner for us. $100 chip. 9 point hit. Again, we don't really care about that. So ours is going to travel behind the 9. The puck is going to go off. Again, you could leave this by itself. It does have the advantage of winning with the 7, or you could just play it like normal. I'm going to play it like normal. So throw in $110, dealer inside. But again, we got to tell them, hey, we want our bets working to override this puck. So that's the little tricky part. You got to be paying attention and let the dealer know when your bets are on and off, because you're playing a separate game than the puck. All right, the shooter has hit plenty of points. All right, 8. 8's going to be the new point. Our bets were working, so 30 will pay 35. And we're going to put $50 on that 9, so that's completely hedged. We don't need this marker anymore. And $10, we can rack it, or you know what, we need to start building something up here. Let's go, let's cover another number, we'll go with the 10. All right, here we go. 9. That's a bummer. Not the end of the world though. We're going to lose our $100 don't. Our $50 is going to pay $70. So we didn't get hurt. We actually made some money. It's still on the table, but just hey dealer, bring down my 9 and hey, bring down my 10. There's actually a $5 profit. All right, so let's go ahead, rack this up. We need $100. I'm going to use the black chip this time for our don't. And again, we don't want to have them both at risk. So dealer, turn my place bets off. And we've got to get through our come out roll. All right, here we go. 7, man, that's no good. We losing on the don't. Like I said, mathematics doesn't matter whether you're playing the don't or the don't pass. It's still a 1 in 6 chance every time to lose to that 7. So we're going to follow it up. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not going to follow up. That's the whole reason. We don't follow it up because we don't have to make that decision because the shooter 7'd out because his puck was on. What was I thinking? Okay, puck goes off. We're safe here. We're only going to lose $100 per shooter, and we don't have to make a decision about it. That's what this strategy does. All right, so the dice are going to pass to a new shooter. We still want our bets off. Here we go. New shooter coming out. 5. He's going to establish the point of 5. We're going to do the $100 don't. And here we go. 8, easy 8. So our don't's going to be an 8. So it'll travel behind the 8. Now we want our bets working. Dealer, make my bets working. So we want to hit here so we can fully hedge that 8. There's a 9. That's great for us. So 25 will pay 35. Dealer, make my 8 look like 60. I got $5 here. Do whatever you want with it. I'm going to throw it in the field. On the Royal Caribbean tables, they treat this as a prop bet. You can bet as low as $1. Which is how it should be, because it's a bad bet. All right, here we go. 10 the hard way, 10 hard. Winner in the field. We're just going to use that to cover a number. We'll cover the 4. All right, let's hit some numbers. Try to collect some green. I don't think we've yet to collect anything. Dice off the table, no roll. Let me just grab a new one here. And there's the 7. So down comes these bets. We're just going to lose a few dollars. Our don't's going to come down and get paid 100. So this is what we had on the table, about 50 bucks. Some of that was casino winnings. Puck's going to go off, and we're going to have a new shooter. So let me give this another try or two. We're clearly down a little bit. Here we go. Coming out. 5 is going to be the point of 5. Now we're going to make our move. $100 Batman, DC. Here we go. 10, that's a good one for us. Trail behind the 10. Now we're going to use approximately $100. First we're going to throw in 52. Ask the dealer to buy the 10 because there's going to be a $2 vig up front. So 3 and change. We're going to buy this. Now our 10 is completely, we're not worried about the point or the 7. And we got about $50 to work with. So I'm going to throw in 54. You could place just the 6 and 8. You can go across all. I'm going to go across all the numbers. So there's 54 or 55. Dealer, give me 54 across. So dollar change. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and our caps, 54. Let's see if we could press these up and start getting some money back. We have yet to really earn any money here with the strategy. The dice have just been rolling funny. All right, here we go. But we've got no risk, really. Oh, gosh. All right, there's the 7. So we did have some risk. We had an extra $4 out there. So we lost $4. But we were trying to get in a position where we can win a good amount of money. So this is all going to come down here. We lose our buy bet. $100 is going to come down and pay $100. Puck will go off. Going to have a new shooter. Let's give this one more roll. We're down. I don't know how much we're down. We'll see. Probably 1, 2, close to 3, 4. So we're down about $200. Not ideal. Here we go, coming out. 10, the hard way, 10 hard. Now we're going to come out with our don't. See where it travels to. It's going to travel to the 5. So behind the 5, and then we go 100, 10 inside dealer. So we're a little light on that 5 hedge, so we need to get a win so we can fully hedge that 5. Oh no, there's that 5. This just has not gone well for us. So we lose 100. 25 is only going to pay 35. So we take a hit there. We're in the middle of the roll though, so let's go $100. Go right back through the don't come. And remember, this is like making a new point or a new shooter for us. We're playing independent of this puck. So new $100, but let's go ahead and make sure our bets are off because we don't want $200 at risk. At least for this roll. Here we go, same shooter. There's the 7. Hey, like I said, you just never know. It worked out pretty good at the standard. This one just has not been working out. And 7 out, which means the puck goes off. We're not going to follow it. And we're done. Dealer, pull my bets down for me. And let's see where we're at. 1, 2, ouch. 225, 235, 240, 244. So we took a pretty good look at licking. We got beat up pretty good there in a relatively short amount of time. So the idea was, though, we didn't have to make that decision. We didn't chase any. There was that weird roll where I don't know if we would have turned out for the good or bad because we rolled so many come out winners and losers. That was just a weird situation. But we really never got into a hand where we can make some money off of, and then we got burnt a couple times with that 7 and the don't come, and it's going to happen. All right, that's the Batman version. Let me know what you think of that one, and until next time, however you like to play, good luck on coloring up.